The UFC might be the pinnacle of the sport of mixed martial arts, but that doesn't mean they always have the craziest finishes. For this video, we're going to take a deep dive into the knockouts that happened outside of the octagon. And to be honest, some may be even better than the ones in the UFC. And now, without further ado, and ranked in no particular order, let's take a look at 10 of the rarest knockouts in MMA, Part 2. Number 10. Davey Gallon. Coming up against a UFC veteran like Ross Pearson is nearly always going to result in some level of nerves. But for Davey Gallon, well, he channeled whatever emotions he was feeling into one of the craziest KOs you will ever see. After failing with a telegraphed spinning wheel kick just seconds beforehand, Gallon then decided to dive headfirst into a rolling thunder kick.
With a body.
Oh my
God.
Goodness! I don't even know what to call that! I've never seen a finish like that.
And if you need any proof of how crazy this was to see, especially on someone as good as Pearson, the fact that the commentator let out a swear word live on the air tells you everything you need to know. Number 9. Tyler Bryan and Sean Parker. This next one is just another level of crazy entirely. Believe us when we tell you that there are several wild techniques that come in this video. But for this entry, Tyler Bryan and Sean Parker managed to do the unthinkable. Both men had barely gotten started, and before anyone knew what was happening, a pair of identically timed hooks landed, KOing both fighters at exactly the same time. The referee, former UFC star Shoney Carter, had quite the reaction to seeing both guys unconscious on the floor. What can a referee even do in a situation like this? Either way, we certainly would have done the exact same thing, Shoney. Number 8. Sean O'Malley. If you're a hardcore MMA fan, you likely heard the name Sean O'Malley early on, thanks to this viral knockout he scored on David Nuzzo in 2017.
Now Nuzzo's been dropped 3 times. That is good night, Irene. That is freaking brilliant.
Fighting under the LFA banner, Sean O'Malley didn't just nail his opponent with a spinning wheel kick, which would be impressive enough on its own. However, Sugar Sean also landed a right kick just seconds prior, bouncing his opponent off the cage and having him run right into the killing blow. This was some crazy innovation for the young fighter, and soon enough, the MMA world was calling on Dana White and the UFC to give him his shot at the big time. And sure enough, he took that shot gladly, appearing on Dana White's Contender Series with an emphatic knockout, earning himself a UFC contract that would lead him to the very top of the bantamweight division. Number 7. Raymond Daniels. Raymond Daniels is the proud owner of some of the finest knockouts you'll ever see, especially in his kickboxing career. But for our money, this Bellator finish he scored over Wilker Barros for his first career victory is truly unlike anything you'll ever see. We've seen spinning back kicks, wheel kicks, even spinning elbows fired off and landed in the past, but Daniels, who has one hell of a highlight reel already, took things to another level entirely, firing off a spinning punch that you really need to see to fully believe.
It's Raymond Daniels with a staggering finish.
In 99% of cases, this could be written off as needlessly flashy, but it is Raymond Daniels we're talking about. If you want any more proof of this guy's talent, just take a look at this spinning back kick knockout and you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Shot from Raymond Daniels.
Number 6. Nursultan Nazarbayev. We had to make room somewhere in here for a slam, right? Well, for Nursultan Nazarbayev, a loose and ill-advised triangle choke attempt left his opponent, Ibrahim Mane, totally vulnerable to a slam that even the great Matt Hughes would have been proud of. After realizing his adversary's mistake, Nazarbayev, in a feat of pure physical power, lifted his opponent into the air only to slam him down on his head.
Leg to try and get a little bit more leverage.
That's his control.
No, Nursultan is
As you might expect, it took the referee a split second to realize that Mane was out, leading to a couple of follow-up strikes. But in reality, this fight was over from the second that Mane refused to let go of that desperate submission attempt. A truly nasty finish. Number 5. Mark Abelardo. When Mark Abelardo took on Emilio Urrutia under the One Championship banner, at first glance, it was actually quite difficult to tell what had happened during the finishing sequence.
My opponent hurt like that. He just kind of...
There you go! There you go! He capitalized!
But by the time the two had separated, it was clear that something unusual had occurred. It was only when the replay came in that we saw that Abelardo had managed to nail his target with a perfectly executed tomahawk elbow, a rare technique to even see attempted in MMA, let alone land. And as soon as the strike connected, the impact was clear. This was a masterpiece in sneaky violence from Abelardo, and a knockout that doesn't have many equals in his field. Number 4. Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva was already regarded as one of the best strikers in MMA by the time he rose through the the Cage Rage promotion and eventually signed for the UFC. But there's one finish that really does stick in the memory as far as his pre-UFC career is concerned. Back in 2006, Silva used a reverse elbow to shockingly good effect, slashing his way to a KO victory over Tony Freakland.
Dominance here is and it's over. Here's a reverse elbow. Superb.
We've already seen what a well-timed tomahawk elbow can do, but to be clear, this finish from Anderson Silva looked like it packed twice the power. Not only is a reverse elbow incredibly likely to cause a knockout, but even if it doesn't land cleanly, you can bet it has a chance of causing a cut. It was as wild of a highlight as any in his collection, and as you might expect, it proved to be the victory that earned Silva his shot in the UFC. The rest, as they say, is history. Number 3. Michael Venom Page. Michael Venom Page's highlight reel is one big collection of rarities. He just fights in a way that is uniquely his own. A flashy, dynamic, and totally unpredictable approach that generally results in the knockout when he's having success. Prior to his signing with Bellator, it was this acrobatic finish of Ben Dishman on the UK regional scene that put his name on the map. MVP was having his way from start to finish, embarrassing his opponent thoroughly, before eventually creating some space. So, what did he do? Well, he fired off an insanely well-executed tornado kick, landing cleanly on his target.
The London shoot fighter screaming at him, telling him to take it seriously, and there's a spinning kick. That is unbelievable.
He was so confident that the fight was over that he ended the move by standing there, not even taking a second to admire his handiwork. Love him or hate him, Michael Venom Page is a showman, and this early highlight proved to give us a taste of what would eventually follow. Number 2. LaMalo Ali Nazarbayev. The upkick is a move that is occasionally tried, but very rarely does it land with any success, or result in an actual knockout. However, at ACA 111, LaMalo Ali Nazarbayev became one of the only fighters in MMA history to finish their opponent with this wild technique. During the opening round, despite being in a vulnerable position, Nazarbayev managed to quickly turn the tables, launching a swift kick as his opponent backed away, driving his heel right into his chin.
Oh, there's the upkick. Wow! LaMalo Ali Nazarbayev made space through the right kick, and the heel connected.
Successfully landing this maneuver is already a rare occurrence, but to see it knock someone out, especially like that, now that's truly exceptional. Number 1. Ollie Flint. If you're making your MMA debut, it's generally a wise idea to try and make a good first impression. But for Ollie Flint, he went above and beyond when he stepped into the cage. During his 2017 bout with Aaron Gray, while ducking under a kick, he decided to respond by throwing one of his own, catching Aaron Gray with a vicious spinning back kick, which instantly knocked him out cold.
Those now. Oh, unbelievable! Unbelievable!
It was a genius moment of improvisation from Ollie Flint. However, despite initially being awarded a KO victory, it was sadly overturned due to a timekeeping error, since the fight had overrun by 17 seconds. Sure, it may not have gone down as an official win in the record books, but with a sensational finish like that, that's already a win in our book. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. Apart from that, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.